Hey, been a while, I know. So did y'all see Split? When Casey, a loner high school girl, is kidnapped with two of her other classmates, they're unsettled to find that their captor, Kevin, suffers from multiple personalities living inside him. With his therapist unaware and the girls unable to escape, Kevin's next personality to form may be his worst one yet. Yeah, Split kinda came out of nowhere for me. You may recall a couple years ago in my review of After Earth, I mentioned Shyamalan's future planned films The Visit and Labor of Love. We've had the first, not really sure what happened to the second, but at the time, Split wasn't publicly announced. Made for the exact same budget as The Visit, Shyamalan is proving very effective with very little. Part of the reason he gives for financing all his films himself is that it keeps studio interference out, which he claims is a reason some of his other works didn't do well. Now, I'm always kind of wary whenever a director blames the studio. Not that it's not true sometimes, but, we all know how easy it is to shift blame that way. But after 4 big-budget films getting blasted and 2 low-budget films getting such praise, yeah, it kinda lends some credibility to his statement. Early viewings of Split at festivals went very well, with a lot of approval being given, and when it finally opened in theaters, it seemed to be met with even more appreciation from critics and audiences. I can't tell you how hyped I was. I bought my ticket for a Thursday night preview, snuck in a feast with me, in preparation for my most anticipated film of the year, saw the film, and boy did I not know what to make of this film. Yeah, in case you're wondering why this video didn't come out when the film did, that's why. Yeah, about halfway through the film, I was really having doubts about what I was watching, and I don't mean I didn't get the plot, not just that anyways. I had never been more baffled in how I felt about a movie. And no, the irony wasn't lost on me. I was split about Split. It didn't help that at the time, Wikipedia didn't even have a proper plot synopsis out on the film for me to follow online. So yeah, I decided to hold off on my review much longer than I should have, but I recently rewatched the film, and with all the attained knowledge I got online about the film, I'm fully aware of what's happened and what things mean, so now I can officially say, yeah, I'm still not sure about this film. I think rewatching it, I realized what I was afraid I was feeling when I first saw it, that I didn't really like it, and I was kind of let down by it. Now, how can I say that? Shyamalan's officially back. Shouldn't I love this? Well, I do have some problems with it, and I guess I'll get them out of the way so we can talk about the good stuff. One problem I have is this whole idea of who has truly suffered. The word privilege gets thrown around a lot these days, and while I think it's good that people are becoming aware of certain hardships they've never had to face, there's sort of this reverse entitlement that comes from taking that thought process a little too far, and I really don't like how this film brings up how, because Casey had this horrible circumstance in her life, that it seems to imply that Claire and Marcia haven't suffered at all and are maybe even worthy of a possibly terrible demise. You don't know everything in everyone's life. Maybe they've had problems that don't leave scars. Normally, something like this wouldn't dampen my whole feeling toward a film, but it's worked into the climax as a turning point. I also really don't like this pretension Casey has, like the other 2 girls are stupid for wanting to escape. And Lord knows, there are so many times in this movie they could have done something more than what they did. Ladies, or men, if you're kidnapped, this is not how you react.
I took 6 months of Kempo karate class, and you distract the assailant with pain.
Everything is so easy for you guys. You do one thing and can predict the next thing. We can win. You'll hurt us. Now, shut up. Both of you.
Just accept the fact that we're going to die.
And help us get out of here.
Blow me. And your 6 months of karate at the King of Prussia Mall can blow me too.
This isn't people in the Saw franchise who stupidly ignore warnings. These are teenage girls afraid for their lives. There's no need to hate on them just because you suck at getting out of a car that's obviously being hijacked. Yeah, that scene really confused me at the beginning. For a minute, I, and apparently a lot of other people, thought she was in on the kidnapping, and that the whole twist was going to be that she was part of it all along. No, she just has a slow reaction, I guess. It's actually kind of funny how this movie went the complete opposite route of what The Visit was for me.
The Visit's opening reviews were more mixed, and I went in without fully knowing if it was going to be good or not, which made my enjoyment of it all the more surprising. Split was built up a little too much for me, and it had a lot to live up to. With The Visit, I was expecting something supernatural, and it turned out to be completely psychological. Split, I was expecting something completely psychological, and then was kind of turned off when it turned out to be supernatural. Since The Visit was Shyamalan's return, I wasn't sure if he would include a twist right off the bat. Again, this made the twist a nice surprise. With Split, I was expecting a twist, and as more stuff happened that I didn't really like, I was hoping the twist would sort of fix it and make all those decisions okay. And it kinda did, although I didn't really see it at the time. They keep their location shrouded in mystery, and I thought this was going to be a big reveal like it was for The Village, but in the end, their location doesn't play that big a part in the grand scheme of things, and doesn't really explain a whole lot either. So, no, I can't say that I enjoyed this movie as a whole, which is a shame because there's a lot of good in it, the most obvious of which is James McAvoy's performance. In fact, I was really shocked he didn't get an Oscar nomination for this. Playing multiple distinct personalities, the Oscars love gimmicky crap like that. Heck, for 5 years, the Oscar for Best Lead Actress went to portrayals of characters with a mental disorder. But it is the best thing in the movie, and not just the amount of depth he gives each of them, but all the subtleties he gives them, too. It would have been a challenge for him to play just one of these roles, but he plays dozens of them. Even if the writing for Hedwig seemed a little off age-wise.
My name's Hedwig. I have red socks. No, they don't tell me much. I just ate a hot dog.
How old are you?
9?
No, talking about your socks and randomly eating a hot dog, you're like 5 or 7 at the most, but if they went that low, he probably wouldn't be listening to Kanye West.
I like dancing to my CD player in my room. Kanye West is my main man.
Now, I don't know how accurate it is to real-life cases of multiple personalities. In fact, I have heard that there's been some backlash to this film for that reason. But I really do like the analogy of which personality is in the light.
Every one of us has to wait in a chair, and Barry, he decides who stands in the light, but Barry lost that power because of me. I can wish myself in the light anytime I want. It's a special power. Barry just has to keep sitting in his chair if I want him to.
I actually think that's a very simple but effective way to convey to your audience what it's like in Kevin's head. It was nice seeing Betty Buckley again. I'm glad Shyamalan brought her back to redeem herself from The Happening. Now if he could only do that for Mark Wahlberg. More than most of his films, this one looks the most like a horror film, which may be due to the fact that Shyamalan personally hired the cinematographer from the movie It Follows after seeing its camera work there. And I can't say that I thought highly of how the film looked on the first time through, but it definitely has its moments visually. There's plenty of suspense in it. It works well in the setting, which is a creepily vague setting, even if it doesn't add to much in the end. And now that I fully comprehend the twist, I am interested to see where Shyamalan takes this story. This is one of the few films where, regardless of how I feel about it, I am glad that it's doing well. I'm glad Shyamalan has people's respect and critics' approval back, and that he's back in his groove. Now he's in better shape to keep doing what he does best. But hopefully, he doesn't let it go to his head this time. Looking forward to seeing Glass in the coming week, and hopefully I'll get to y'all on that one sooner than I did this one.